Xenos Rampant. Hey, Mr. Wargaming, where's the book? Well, you can't order the book yet. You can only pre-order it. I was looking at Jeff Bezos' online emporium and saw that pre-orders are available at Amazon.com. Not Osprey yet. They only do like 3 months in advance. I might wait because I want to get it. For those of you that don't know, Xenos Rampant, and I mean, I don't have a copy yet because this is not a big enough channel that anybody's sending me stuff to play online to gin up interest. Okay, so, Osprey ain't banging down the door hoping to take advantage of my good nature. But I am a fan of the Dragon Rampant series. There is somewhere online, maybe there's even a link in the description, to like an alpha test of Xenos Rampant, which upgrades Dragon Rampant and Lion Rampant to science fiction. That's what I'm going to be using today. It's available on richardcowan.wordpress.com. I found it through the Lead Adventure Forum. Richard Cowan, I think his name is on The Men Who Would Be Kings, which is this game system updated for the colonial era. It's a very strange thing to see a game that works well for medieval combat also work well for science fiction. You got to make some changes. And we're going to see, using that alpha test today, how well the Rampant system works with the Xenoses. Xenos, ultra-modern. As you might imagine, a science fiction game calls for a slightly different rule set than a fantasy or medieval game, or even a colonial game, but I think Xenos Rampant borrows a lot more from, that's where I know Cowan from, Richard Cowan. I think he worked on The Men Who Might Be Kings. This is very similar to that. You've got a couple of rules, like when you're defending an obstacle, if you win an attack against people that are defending an obstacle, then you can take over that position when you drive them back. Things like that. Now, like tanks won't be able to do that, but walkers, like these dwarfs in the back here, will. While we're on this subject, these walkers back here are from Hassle-Free Miniatures. They are, of course, the 28mm Grimmin line, and they are classed as heavy walkers. They're heavy vehicles. They are fleet. They can move through rough terrain without any concern, and then they're big mamma jammas. They have an armor value of 5, which is huge. Next up, we have just a couple of light infantry. They can go to ground. On a 5-up, they basically can't move or shoot, but they can't move and they can't launch an attack. Their defense goes down, but they are +1 to shoot at them. It gets harder to shoot at them when they go to ground. And then, of course, in the front here, we've got, and I don't remember where these space dwarves come from, but the guys in the front are from alternative armies. They're part of the Star Viking line. And they can also go to ground. Now, they're elite infantry. They have the ability that they can act on the same turn that they rally. Very handy. Now, in this game, because command and control has improved greatly thanks to technology, each unit has one command, one order that they can automatically do for free. In the case of the elite infantry, that's shoot and attack. In the case of these light infantry, they can move for free. And then in the case of these guys, I don't know. I gotta go look that up. Let's look at the opposition force first. I don't have a lot of large forces for science fiction. Who knows? Maybe Xenos Rampant will inspire me to correct that. Mostly skirmish figures. So what I've done is I've put together kind of an alien alliance. And in the front, we've got an elite foot unit. Same thing as the Space Dwarves. They go to ground. No, they don't. They're back into the fray. They can act after they rally. And they're Rangers. I forgot to point that out. When they're in cover, when they're in rough going, they use their normal attack and defense values. Then we've got these guys in the orange. The rest of these, they are light infantry, so they can go to ground. They can automatically move. And then I've got 2 units, these space mercenaries that totally don't look like the space orcs from, what's the movie, Fifth Element? Yeah, they are heavy infantry. And then we've got the Prang from alternative armies. Oh, these totally not gray space orcs are from Ground Zero Games. They're listed as space mercenaries. 1 pack, 12 figures. The Prang, I've only got 11 for some reason, so we'll just have to remember that the leader has 2 wounds, but everybody else, 12, 12, 12. 6 for these guys, these elite guys. They're wearing the battle suits, so we'll use a wound marker, and then the second one will just take a guy away, and that's how we'll keep track of their wounds. I should also point out these guys come from the Star Viking line. I use them as battle suits for my Space Mercenaries, so that gives me a little bit more flexibility. I'm using them as elite. The elites will be our generals, so anybody within 6 inches of those guys, we play this game at half scale, remember. Anybody within 6 inches of those guys will have a +1 on their rally. The other thing I need to point out is there is a little bit of a difference between my Prang heavy infantry and my Orc heavy infantry. The Prang have AP of 1. Anybody they shoot at, their armor is reduced by 1. The Orcs are built for squad support, which means their shooting attack goes down. Normally they would be shooting on 5s. Because I spent the extra points on the more anti-personnel guys, something like this. Zoom in, there you go. See that big heavy? We got 3 of those guys. So they are going to be shooting, they have a +1 on their shooting attack. That costs 2 points. These are only 20-point forces, a little smaller than usual. It's fine. Let's find out how well this game works, and to do that, we're going to start with these guys over here. My to move on a 5-up. I don't know if there's any requirements for spacing in this game. Like I said, it's not even out yet. I'm going to roll 5-up, see if these guys can come up to here. I'm going to send the Prang are going to come up along this side, and then we'll bring the Orcs up as well. So first for the elites. On a 4-up, they're done. We're done. Let's move on to the other side. Firing ranges in this game are all 9 inches. That's convenient. There are some upgrades you can buy for indirect weapons that allow you to do that. I've already moved both of these light infantry. Remember, they get a free move order. They've already moved. So I got to know whether I move my elite infantry first. And on a 6, they will move up, and we'll just bring them up to here. The quicksand, by the way, is a no-go zone for everybody. And you can fire across it. The rest of this terrain does block line of sight and is it slows going. Then we're going to try to move our walkers up again in support, and on a 7, both of them will. Again, the light infantry has already moved. We're going to try to bring up our elite infantry. And on a 5, let's see, elite infantry are going to move on a 5-up. They'll move 3 inches straight ahead. We're going to bring the Prang up. On a 7, they will, and then we'll bring these guys up that way on a 12. Very good. Again, the light infantry have moved. This is why I'm not too concerned about the spacing. We're going to give it a 1-inch spacing for all of our units. Once the game gets rolling, I brought everybody in between, I gave them 6 inches between a couple of dunes for coming in. Now our elite infantry trying to move up, trying to get up into this area, trying to secure the center of the field, and then these guys following are going to be successful as well. Here in the third turn, light infantry have moved. We now can see the opposing dwarf forces. We're getting closer to the point that they might start having some interaction. We're going to try to move the Prang first, and on a 4 they don't. So the Alliance is really struggling with their command and control, just really not able to get any kind of plan together. Dwarves having a much easier go of things. Our light infantry have now taken up position inside this scrub. This light infantry is trying to take the top of the hill to make them a little more sticky when it comes time for assaults. In the meantime, our elite are sticking to the middle, and on a 10 they're going to move up, and they are supported by the walkers who on a 3 are just going to hang tight. So this time around, we're just going to bring these guys up. A little something like this. Still not quite 9 inches between the units, but that's okay. At this point, our light infantry has to be getting a little nervous. Hey guys, I thought we were going to have a fight here. They're going to try to go to ground. On a 5-up, so on a 9, they do. And I'm going to use a little green defense marker to indicate that they now have an increased armor. Their shoot score is not affected, but if they do try to get into melee, well, they can't do it. That's just the rules of the game. We're going to once again try to move the Prang. And on a 5, they're going to do it. So the Prang are going to come up. And then the elite are going to follow suit with a 12. And then these guys will say, all right, fine, I guess we'll come up and try to support you. And on a 6, everybody will move. The light infantry have moved. By the way, they can move 4 inches. I've been shortchanging them on both sides of the issue. Not too worried about that. But to make up for the difference, because these guys are trying to take the hill, I moved them up to just the base of that hill. Next turn, they're going to have to spend a full turn getting up on top of that. These guys came pouring out of the woods. They realized that the further up they can get. Remember, when you lose a combat, when you have to rally, you fall back. The more room you have to fall back, the more time you have to recover. With these light infantry having moved, we're going to go ahead and bring the elite infantry up this way. And on a 5, they will, and we'll see if the walkers follow suit. They do. So everybody else moves 3 inches. Now, normally vehicles are going to be able to move 4 inches, but because I took the walker special ability, they are a little bit slower than like a heavy tank. And but you know, it's one of those trade-off things, right? And I don't need to move that. You know, I was going to move the camera, but I guess I don't need to move it at all. These guys are still in. Let's check the range on their firing. And these guys are still too far away. We don't have any firing to do just yet. And what we're going to do, by the way, for the end of the game is when we get down to only 4 units on the table, that's where we'll start rolling to see where we're at. And whoever, when the game is finally over, whoever has killed the most points worth of units, that'll be your winners. We need to check 4. So they're in ground. We're going to try to bring these guys up. And with a 4, that's not going to happen. So again, the stunty guys get to go, and they are going to move up. The free movement of 4 inches will take them to here. And these guys, like I said, it's only going to be 2 inches, but that does put them up there. Then our elites are going to come around here. We're going to go elite on elite, and I think we'll just kind of sweep around that way. So the elites move up, and then our walkers are again, I guess they're having servo trouble or something because they're just not getting into the mix at all. So our general is now, oh, you know, it's only 6 inches range, so these guys are going to be on their own. Let me bring them in, and then we'll see what happens with these guys, with the Alliance forces. For the Alliance, the Prang can automatically shoot, but remember, they only have a range of 9 inches. Even these elites are just out of reach. We're going to try to move the Prang first. They're going to move up 3 inches to here. And I guess this time you're just going to have to watch my wrists as I just slide everybody up. I'm going to pull them off to the side just a little bit so that our elites have room to shuffle in. Then I'm going to try to shoot with these guys. The light infantry are shooting on a 6 or better, and on a 12, they are going to take a shot. So in this case, they're shooting at this unit, and let's see, light. They shoot on a 6 or better. They hit on 5s or better. We're rolling 12 dice, full strength unit. They hit on 5s against a unit with an armor of 2. And they get absolutely no hits. Nice shooting there, guys. But the turn is not over because our elites have the option of firing now. And unfortunately for them, if we take a little look, this is the only guy that's got a line of sight. Half these guys are blocked by that big rock. So the big rock comes in handy. Our elites are going to have to swing up here, which they'll do, and 3 inches will bring them around here. This guy's going to come up. So they're a little bit strung out in a line, I guess you could say, and the last unit to go will be the assaulting orcs, bringing up the rear with a 6. For the space orcs, we're going to do all of our free stuff first. We know this light infantry in the back is going to fire, but they have to pass a check to do that. The elite up here are going to fire at the Prang, and that is an automatic. The elites fire, they get a free order of a shoot. They are going to be hitting on a 4 up, and those Prang are going to have an armor of 3. So for every 3 4 and better, we're going to have 1 guy takes a hit. So we got a total of 2 hits. Bink, bink. So 2 go down, and that forces the Prang to take a morale check at -2. They have a courage of 4 up, so they have to get a 6 or better. And with a 9, they will stand. The light infantry now are also going to fire. Now, they only hit on 5s or betters, but they still need to get 3 hits to knock out a guy. Much better dice rolling for the Space Dwarves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 more hits. And now in order for the Prang to stick around, they have to roll, I think it's an 8 or better. 4. -4 gives them a result of a 0. And that's it for the Prang. With a result of a 0, they quit the field immediately. We're going to try to move these walkers up next. And on a result of a 4, that's going to end the turn. I still think that was the way to go. I think that was the right choice. Even though we could have taken some shots at these guys. We really need to get this support up into the game. Play kicks back over to the Alliance side. And now our elite boys, They're still too far away to charge into action. Do we move or do we shoot? I think we need to... Well, they can either shoot or attack. Kind of out in the open out here, aren't they? But because we have the line of sight blocking here, we're going to go ahead and fire uphill at these guys. They can shoot automatically. They're shooting at forces that have an armor of 2. And again, our elite forces are going to be hitting on 4s. I will re-roll these 2. For every pair, so we got 1 hit, we got 2 hits, a whopping 2 hits against this unit up here. The light infantry will make their courage check at -2, and a result of a 4 minus 2 is a 2. They are going to fall back half a move, and next turn they're going to have to rally. Half a move is 2 inches. So by opening fire, they drive them off the hill, and that buys them a turn to deal with elites on elites. That's these guys. Then we're going to try to fire with our light infantry. This is a firefight we can win. On a result of a 5, they are still hunkered down. Elites, no, light infantry will shoot on a 6 or better. That's going to be the end of the turn. So their commanders are yelling at them, shouting at them, get your heads out of the sand and start opening fire. They're not interested. Our assault orcs are still waiting here in the back for an opening or an opportunity. Now we have to check to rally these guys. They are still at -2, and with a result of a 1, they're going to fall back again. They will lose 1 strength point, and they will fall back another... Is it a half move or is it a full move when you blow a rally check? A retreating unit moves half of its distance. Now we're going to try to open fire. These elites are within 9 inches of this light infantry. They have an automatic success to shoot. And we're going to take it. They are going to be hitting on 4s. But remember, these guys are dug in, so their armor is now 3. Hitting on 4s, armor of 3. There's going to be 1 hit there, and then this other one is wasted. So 1 guy goes down. We have to make a courage check against a courage value of 4 or better. 6 minus 1 is 5, so they pass that check. Then we want to bring our... So the elites fired. Our walkers tried to move up, and did. And then we're going to try to fire with the light infantry. And on a result of a 6, we'll give it to them. They are going to open fire, hitting on 5s against an armor of 3. They get 1, 2, 3 hits altogether, so that knocks down another guy. That forces another morale check, and at -2 this time, 4 minus 2 gives them a result of 4. They're in the clear. We need to force the issue. We're going to bring these elites up to here. On an 8, they will move their 3 inches. I know that leaves them exposed to 1 round of gunfire, but they are now close enough to assault. Or maybe these guys assault. Who knows? We may roll some dice for that. The next thing we're going to do is try to open fire with these guys. On a result of a 6, they will do so. They hit on 5s, and they will eliminate an enemy on every pair of successes. They get a grand total of 2 successes. Well, hey, at least it's something, right? So 1 success, they do have, that does, and you gotta do it. You gotta take those little shots because it does force a morale check at -1. A result of a 7 means that unit passes. Now can we bring our assaulters up? On a 6, they do move up. They are not rangers, so we're going to kind of hug the line here a little bit. We'll bring our leader up. And if these light infantry can keep the Space Dwarf infantry pinned down long enough, maybe our Space Orcs can get up and assault their position. Remember, these guys are anti-personnel specialists. Our anti-armor prang left the field before they even had a chance to fire a single shot. That's the end of the turn for the Alliance. Now we have to figure out what to do. Well, first we have to try to rally these guys. They've only got 9 guys. They're at a total of -3. A 5 -3 does give them a success. They are no longer battered. Then we have to decide, do we want to do our free assault? Yeah, let's do it. Let's just get stuck in, baby. They attack for free, and that's going to be important because the elite troops, when they do a melee attack, they are better on the attack. We're going to roll for the attackers first, and the elite infantry are going to be hitting on 4s, and the defenders will be hitting on 4s. Did I get that right? Oh, yeah, everybody hits on 4s. Oh, this is an even fight. Maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe they want to shoot. Yeah, I think they want to shoot. You might as well take the free shot, because if these guys charge in, take the shot if you can get it, right? Because if these guys charge in, it's an even fight, regardless of whether you're on offense or defense. They do have a free shoot action, and you're going to be shooting and hitting on a 4-up against an armor value of 4. So we need 4 4s or better. We get 1 and 3 more, but hey, that 1 does wound, and it does force... We'll get another guy that's kind of drunk and doesn't want to stand up. So we have to make a courage check. Now, elite units have a courage of 3, so the 6 minus 3 gives them a 5. They're okay. Then, so we shot with them. We're going to move these guys up on a 4th. Oh, that's the end of the turn. Look at that. All right. So now it becomes the Space Orc's turn, and these guys are going to... Oh, they're going to return fire. Might as well, right? Hitting on 4s, looking for 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to eliminate one of these guys, forcing this guy to make a check. And with a result of a 3, a result of a 2, he's going to fail and become battered. They will have to fall back 1.5 inches, and we're going to give our... Let's see, which way? Let's fall back this way. We're going to give those walkers a chance to slip on through. And we are going to drop the red gem of shame upon them. Then we have a group here that really wants to move up, so that's going to be our next check. They do, and then we're going to see if the light infantry can fire, and we'll call that a 10, and they are going to open fire on their counterparts. Again, hitting on 5s, eliminating for every pair they get. And I really probably need to get a dice tray, because I'm too old to be crawling under tables. Hitting on 5s, that's going to be 1 hit, 2 hits, and 3 hits altogether. So we'll take off 3 guys from the back, and that means this rally check here at -4. 6 minus 4 is 2. They're going to have to fall back 2 inches. Remember, their movement is 4, and they have earned the red gem. So we'll bring them back a couple of inches, like so. And I'm kind of getting the feeling that this needs a lot of you need a lot of terrain for a game like this, don't you? And I think that's... Oh, we did roll, and they successfully moved up, but I did all the dice rolling first. After cleaning up and moving our melee troops, I guess you could call them, into position, we got to figure out whether these guys pass their rally check or not. They're at a -4. A 6 means they do. That's all this unit of light dwarf infantry is going to do. Then we're going to check our leader. He is at -1 on this, and he needs a 3 or better. 6 minus 5, so he does succeed. Now, bear in mind, because he's elite, he still gets to make an action, and he is going to take that action to shoot at his elite counterpart. And I guess that should have been a regular roll, because that guy is a leader, isn't he? Hitting on 4s, wounding for every 4 of successes, and they get a total of 5 on that roll. That's going to eliminate this warrior right here. That will force a check at -2. And a 5 is a success. So they've gone. Now these guys need to... Oh, they have a free move. So we'll bring them back to... Well, they don't have enough movement to get to the top. It takes a full move to get up there. So we'll just kind of pile them in to the hill. And then these guys are going to try to advance to here. We want to wipe out that leader. And with a 3... The guys in the motor pool are in big trouble, okay? Because the vehicles are just not carrying their own weight, which is very unfortunate, because vehicles are the heaviest units in the game, aren't they? Has everybody acted? Yes, we did a rally, we did a move, we did a failure, so that's it for the Space Wars. Moving on to the Alliance. We're going to take a shot with these guys. They are not at half strength yet. So, you know what we should do? I take it back. The first thing we're going to do is move these guys around this way. On a result of a 5, elite infantry They are going to move on a 5... Wait, the lead infantry move on a 5 up. Yep. We're actually going to go ahead and slide 3 inches over to here. That takes us out of the line of sight, and maybe we will have more luck wiping these guys out. Then we're going to bring these guys. They are they 3? They're still not close enough. We'll go ahead and take a shot over here. I think we have line of sight with more than half of our guys. I wonder if I should be giving these guys a -1 for shooting beyond 6 inches. That's how you do it in Dragon Rampant. Beyond 6, there's a -1. I haven't been doing that because these are like science fiction weapons, and I'm just not sure it's appropriate. I'm not going to do it. If you think I'm doing it wrong, if the book comes out and you're watching this video in like December of 2022 when I'm filming it in July, and you think you're clever because, hey, you didn't do the -1, it's in the rule book. Well, thank you. Put that in an envelope and mail it to 6 months ago, and I'll make sure to correct it before I film this. Not that I'm complaining. I appreciate the corrections, guys. I'm just telling you, kind of making it up as I go along because this is a bit of a beta test. I really just wanted to see if these rules would work for a science fiction setting. And I think they do. Just at this early juncture, I think there's enough back and forth. There's enough choices to make, even with this kind of ad hoc limited edition version of the game. I think it's working okay. Unfortunately, I can't remember what I'm doing. Oh, these guys, right? My orcs have rolled to shoot, and they shoot on a 4-up against a unit that only has 2 armor. That's going to be 1, 2, 3 successes. And boy, they're really not doing well. So that tiny little group here is at -7, and that's going to do it. They are going to completely vacate the table. How many units do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units still on the table. The game will continue, but we're not done yet. Do we want to bring this light infantry up and around? Yeah, let's do that. Now, because they're moving, actually, I don't need to roll at all, and they move 4 inches, so we'll bring them up to about here. Remember, they have the free order. They get to move. I guess that, like I said, due to the improved command and control, so we'll bring them up to there. But they're no longer gone to ground, so instead of 3 hits, they will take casualties on 2 hits. That is the end of the turn. Now we need to decide what to do with our Space Dwarves. We have no line of sight here, so we're actually gonna pull these guys back. And on a 9, they will pull back to here, so they've got line of sight. We're gonna go with the elites getting into a firefight with the light infantry. That's going to allow our big guns to move up, I hope. On a 9, they will. 1, 2, 3, so they're going to come up to here. Still no line of sight for anybody. Do we want to bring these guys up onto the hill? Since we're not treating the hill as any kind of a bonus or defense, we're just going to leave them there. Actually, let's go to ground. We're going to give them the defensive ability. Well, they got to roll a 5 or better. And they do. So they have gone to ground. Their armor is now 3. We're looking forward to getting into a firefight with these guys. However, this may be a problem because if you are assaulted, instead of defending at a 4-up, they're going to be defending at a 5-up. Still think that's the way to go. Wait, elites are rangers. They are going to be able to move the full 3 inches. Let's pre-measure that to see what happens. Yeah, it's pretty close there. Let's just see what happens. The turn is over. The Space Dwarves got no firing out of that. Let's go ahead and bring... Well, they have a free move action, but we're going to try to shoot at the elites instead. And with a 5, nothing doing. The Alliance does not go. That means the elites are going to use their free shooty action at this light infantry group. They're hitting on 4s and looking for pairs. 1, 2... That's it. 2 successes. This was like a 2 or something. So 2 successes, but we'll take it. With 2 successes, 3, 6, 7, 8. This light infantry is at -4. And with a 5, 6, 7, -4, they get a 3. That means they're going to fall back 2 inches. And they are going to be battered. So on the next turn, they're going to have to make that rally check. That's this unit. Then our Walkers are still looking to get up into here where they can take a shot, and with an 8 they do. A little bit of jury rigging on the part of the engineers, and then these guys are going to... we're going to move them. Oh, they get a free move. We're going to go ahead and move them up to the top. Yeah, you guys want to assault us? You come on. We're actually better on the defense. And now we've got options, which is good. We like options. The Alliance has to go now. And the first thing we have to do is try to rally this unit. And with a 2, with all the minuses, oh boy, that's the worst that could have happened. They are going to immediately give up. Let me point out, with the loss of that light infantry, the Alliance has lost 8 of their 20 army points. That's not enough to trigger morale checks for the remaining units. You have to lose half of your points, not half of your units. The next thing we're going to do is send our elites into a frenzy uphill. We're going to attack this light infantry. By the way, we still have more than 4 units on the table, so we don't have to check to see the end of the game. Now, with the elites, they get a free activation of attack. They've done that. They are going to be attacking. They're going to be hitting on 5 up. Whereas the... oh, wait a minute. Maybe we do want to shoot with those guys. Maybe we... so we got to think about this. If they shoot, which they can do for free, they're going to be hitting on 4s. If they assault these guys, they're going to be hitting on 5s. I think we got to shoot. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to shoot. It's free either way. Hitting on 4s. They're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then and a half, which doesn't count for anything. So 4 more of these guys go down. We'll pull them off of there. The dwarfs have to make a morale check at -7, but they're within 6 inches of the leader's unit, so let's call it a -6. And 5 minus 6 is a negative. That means these guys boogie on out of there. And with that unit gone, we now need to start thinking about the end of the turn. Bear in mind, once again, those light infantry only represent 6 points total for the Space Dwarves. So again, they haven't lost half their units. They still have 14 points on the board. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to try to take care of that by having these guys attack the heavy walkers. And the heavy orcs, now they are squad support, so when they shoot, they get a free attack action. Are they within 3 inches? They're not. Okay, so they are going to have to shoot. And with a 5, they do not shoot. They need a 6 or better to shoot. Now, to start the turn, we're going to roll a d6. And on a 5 or 6, this is the last activation. 1, so this is not the last activation. Our elite boys are going to... what do we do? Now we got to think about this. Our walker has a 6 up. Oh, he gets a free shoot action. We're going to try to take out the boss man here. And with a free shoot action, we're just going to roll 6 dice. There, he is hitting on 4s. And he's attacking a unit that has an armor value of 4. We get 1, 2, 3 hits. We get 4 hits for there, and then we get another 3. So not a bad roll, but it only does 1 wound altogether, making our courage check at -3. 3 minus 3 is 0. This guy is gone, and then they have to make a rally check to see what they do. 6 minus nothing means they will stick around, but their general is gone. In fact, they have to make... I don't think they have to make 2 rally checks, do they? That is more than half the unit. And their general, let's give them another one, so 10. So they passed both of them. Then the elites are going to try to move, and they will. And let's go ahead and swing them around this way. We're not going to give these guys anywhere to retreat to. The elites are going to swing around the big black ball that doesn't do anything and try to hit these guys in the rear. In the meantime, these guys are going to have to... I get a free attack action, but we got to try and shoot these guys on a 6-up. So they get the shots off. But that heavy walker has an armor of 5. The orcs are shooting on a 4-up. The heavy orcs, their shoot value is 4-up. Okay. Looking for 4s, and they need 5 of them to do anything. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that 6th one doesn't do any good. So they do 1 damage to one of these walkers. So he's got a little wound marker under him. The walkers have to make a morale check at -1. And with a 6, -1, they get a result of a 5. Their courage is a 3. They're okay with that. That's the end of the turn. Roll a d6. On a 4, 5, or 6, this is it. With a result of a 2, we will continue playing. The walkers turn their attention in this direction. Oh, you think you're cute, do you? Remember, they get a free shoot order, and they're going to be hitting on 4s against a unit that has an armor value of 3. So there's 1 hit, there's 2 hits, and that's all they're going to get. But 2's enough, so 2 hits, making the morale check at -2. A 7 -2 is a 5. Heavy infantry, these orcs will pass. Their courage is a 4. Then the leaders are going to try to get into position. With a 5, they will. He's going to move 3 inches around to here. So on the next turn, the orcs will be caught in a crossfire. And the question then becomes, what do the orcs want to do on their turn? They get a free attack activation. And because these elites got close enough, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it. We're going to force the issue here. We are afraid of those walkers, and we're going to charge into melee. That is a free activation. They are at greater than half strength. So the orcs are going to be attacking. Their attack value is a 5, hitting on 5s. That's a pretty good roll. Against elites who have an armor of 4, so they did 1 hit, and they did 2 hits. That's really impressive. They needed that. So we take 2 more guys away. And this is going to be at a -3 for the wounds, +1 because it's the leader, so we're at -2. Elites have a courage value of 3, naturally enough, but a 4 -2 is going to be 2, and they fail. Look at that. They're going to fall back 1.5 inches, and they are going to earn themselves a red gem. Bang! Just like that. Remember, they fired. So that's the end of the turn. Then we have to figure out, well, let's adjust the camera since all the action's moved away. Is this the last activation? 5. It is. I think that's actually game over, but let's see what happens anyway. The elites have to rally, and with a 6, 7 actually, they will succeed. And then they can go ahead and take the shot. Elites automatically get a shoot action. They are going to be firing, hitting on 4s against a unit with an armor value of 3. They will get a total of 1 hit and 2 hits. So 2 more deaths is going to put these orcs at -4 on their morale. And with a 5, they are going to fall back and they are going to be battered. So we'll move them back 1.5 inches, which is unfortunate because it opens them up to, look at this. I told you, man, caught in the crossfire. Our heavy walkers now can take the shot. They have a free shoot action. Don't even need to roll. Hitting on 4s. And they're going to get a total of 1, 2. They're only going to get 1 hit, but that does force a morale check at -5. And look at that. Those heavy orcs succeeded. But it doesn't matter because this was the last activation of the game. And altogether, the Alliance was only able to eliminate 6 points worth of Space Dwarves. The Space Dwarves were able to eliminate all but 1 unit, so that would be 14 points worth of units. Big winners goes to the Space Dwarves. And it moved quickly. Like I said, I think I'm doing a couple of things wrong. Probably need to add the -1s to long distance shooting. That will make assaulting a much more viable strategy. because you'll always, the other, how do I put this? You don't want to just stand off and shoot from 9 inches away. You're going to want to move up to where you don't have that negative anymore, which puts you in a situation where the guys who are assaulting, yeah, they're going to have to withstand one round of fire when you get that close, but then they're going to get stuck in your face. I think that to be a viable assault unit, you need to have heavy armor and a much better, we had a situation where we had elites going against elites, and it was just a 50-50 chance where when you're shooting, you're much more likely to do wounds. So it devalued the role of assault, which I guess is probably appropriate for science fiction games. Most of the hand-to-hand combat that occurs in modern, and I would guess ultra-modern warfare, is only going to be happening when you've got tons of terrain on the table. City fighting, that's where that comes in. By and large, you want to stand far enough away from the guy you're shooting at so that you can hide behind something solid, because you'd rather that something solid get shot rather than something soft and bleedy like yourself. But really, at the end of the day, this was an experiment to see if this rule set could work for a modern day skirmish, and I think it does. Prioritizing the long distance combat, the missile combat, doesn't really detract from the game at all. You still have to move up into position. You still have to be aware of combining fire, right? Putting maximum force on a single point to drive the enemy back. I think it worked really well. What do you think? There's a whole comment section down there. Meantime, on brand for you.